Zane had always dreamed of owning a piece of land, a place where he could escape from the noise of the world and embrace the silence of nature. His life in the city had become a blur of endless meetings, deadlines, and a constant race to keep up. But deep down, he knew he was meant for something more than just the hustle of the corporate world. He wanted to live free, breathe fresh air, and maybe even find peace in the stillness of wide-open spaces. He didn't have much money saved up, but he was determined to find something, a little piece of earth that could be his. That was when he stumbled upon an online ad that seemed too good to be true. The headline read, "Ranch for sale, only $1." Zane thought it was some kind of joke or a scam, but something about it intrigued him. Curiosity got the best of him, and he clicked on the link. The description was vague, just a few lines about a ranch in a remote part of the countryside abandoned for years, with an offer too absurd to ignore. The ad didn't mention anything about the land's condition, but it was clear the owner wanted to get rid of it fast. Zane made a snap decision. He contacted the seller, who seemed equally eager to part with the land. Within days, the deal was done. He was the proud owner of a ranch. The cost, a single $1. It felt almost surreal, like the universe had conspired to offer him this opportunity. When Zane arrived at the ranch a week later, the excitement in his chest was palpable. The land stretched out before him, vast and untamed, with wild grasses swaying in the breeze and the distant mountains looming in the background. The house, however, was a different story. It was dilapidated, falling apart at the edges. The wood was rotting, windows were shattered, and the roof was sagging. It looked like it hadn't seen a lick of paint in decades. Zane's heart sank for a moment, but then he remembered the price. What did he expect for $1? He started exploring the property, hoping to find something of value, maybe a hidden treasure beneath the rubble, but what he didn't expect was the sound of footsteps crunching over dry leaves. He froze. Slowly, he turned around, and there she was. A young woman stood in the doorway of the house. Her long, dark hair cascaded down her back, and she wore a simple, faded dress that blended with the rustic surroundings. She looked at him with an almost guarded expression, as if she wasn't sure what to make of his presence. Her eyes were a mix of curiosity and caution, and Zane couldn't help but feel a sense of intrigue about her. He had no idea who she was, but something told him she wasn't just some random wanderer. "Who are you?" Zane asked, his voice soft but filled with uncertainty. The woman didn't answer immediately. Instead, she stepped closer, her eyes scanning him carefully. "You're the one who bought the ranch?" she asked, her voice low and almost hushed, as if speaking too loudly might disturb something fragile. Zane nodded, his confusion deepening. "Yeah, I did. But who are you? Why are you here?" The woman hesitated before answering, her eyes flickering toward the house. I live here," she said almost reluctantly. "I've been here for years." Zane blinked in disbelief. The thought hadn't crossed his mind that anyone might still be living on this run-down land. "You live here?" he repeated. "But the place is falling apart. How long have you been here?" "Longer than I'd like to admit," she said, a faint smile tugging at the corner of her lips. She gestured toward the house. "It's not much, but it's home." Zane felt a wave of guilt rush over him. He had bought the ranch without knowing its history, and now he was standing in front of someone who had been living there, probably alone, in a place that looked like it hadn't seen a caring hand in decades. "I'm sorry," he said. "I didn't know anyone was here. I thought this place was abandoned." The woman sighed and nodded. "Most people think it's abandoned. The owner, he's long gone. No one's bothered to take care of it." Zane stood there for a moment, unsure of what to do. He had never expected this. He had planned to restore the ranch, but the idea of just kicking someone out, especially someone who had clearly made this place her home, didn't sit right with him. "I didn't mean to take over your space," he said, his voice sincere. "If you want, I can leave and figure something else out." The woman seemed to think for a moment. "It's not your fault," she said finally. "But if you plan to fix this place up, it might be better if we talk about it. I've been here long enough to know what needs to be done." Zane was taken aback. "You'd help me?" She gave him a quiet nod. "I don't have much else. Maybe you're the answer to all the things I can't fix on my own." Something in Zane stirred. He had come here to escape, but he wasn't sure if this ranch was going to be a peaceful refuge or the beginning of a new kind of adventure. And the more he looked at the woman, the more he felt like this was going to be a journey that neither of them had expected. There was something about her resilience, her quiet strength, that pulled him in. As they stood there, the wind picking up around them, Zane couldn't help but think, this wasn't just about a ranch anymore. This was about a connection, an unexpected partnership. And maybe, just maybe, he was meant to be here for more than just the land.